I have another project out of our 10 cards and envelopes that I've got here. This was the cheap pack of 10 cards and envelopes I've got. And out of the same cards and envelopes, I've got another project for you. So here's another project we're going to do. And this is just making a little album using 3 of the envelopes here today. And then I've used some cardstock to make some tags. So I'll show you what we're going to do first. First we're going to glue this envelope onto here. So I think I'll go ahead and use some wet glue for this today. I'm using my Kalal all-purpose glue. And all I'm doing is I'm putting some tape or some glue onto the flap, the outside. Now you can use any wet glue you like, or if you would prefer, you can go ahead and use your tape runner or your double-sided tape. I'm just going to fold it like this so I can line it up level. So I'm just lining that up level now. Push that down so we get a nice stick on that. And then at this stage, if you didn't want to stick the whole thing down, you could leave a little flap here for a tag. But I did measure it and your tag would only be about 2 inches, so it wouldn't be particularly big. So it gives a bit more of a contrast of the black and the white here. So that's why I prefer it this way. So that one's going to fold over to there, and then this one needs to fold over to there. So before sticking this one down, I'm going to put another score line in here, just to allow this album to fold on itself. So I'm just going to do 1/4 inch score line, just to allow it to fold over on itself. I'm just lining that up there. Just going to give a little 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to flip it over and do the same again on the other side. So when we actually stick it down, we're only going to put the wet glue on this side, not on that little seam, if you like, that we've made there. So pop some wet glue on there again. Put that all the way over. Try and get as close up to that seam as you can, because obviously you want to get a good stick. And then this piece is going to stick onto here. So I'm just going to line it up this way this time. So just stick that down on there. So you've got a little bit of a gusset if you like there. So give that, I've got a bit of glue that's seeping out, but that's the beauty of the all-purpose glue. You can rub it away if it's still wet. So that then folds out on there. You've then got your little seam here. So I should have burnished my seam line there and I didn't. I can do that quickly now, it's not a problem. Let's burnish that down. So it's going to flap over on there. Now we need to do the same again on the top here, because obviously if I try and push that down, it's not going to go. So I'm going to do another 1/4 inch score line on this top flap here. I'm going to put in my score pouch. I'm doing another 1/4 inch. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to flip that over. Okay, bring my mat back in. Do a little burnish on that. Burnish along there. So then when it folds over, you've got a little seam allowance there. Okay, now I've gone ahead, this is just using 3 of the envelopes. I've gone ahead and cut some mats out to go inside my envelopes. Now obviously your envelopes will measure differently to mine. Depending on what cards that you've used. So I've allowed, if you look, I've allowed space that they can go inside and out quite easily. So they pop in there. Now that is my line there, so I've allowed a space as well to do a little tab for the top of these envelopes because I think the tabs look quite nice. So I'm going to cut some little tabs out now. I think I'm going to cut the tabs out of some white. I'm just going to use a label punch that I've got here. This is a Stampin' Up! Label punch. And I'm just going to cut 3 tabs out here. So let's line it up. That's 1, 2, get the third one in on that side without getting the writing in. 3. So that's my 3 tabs there. Now you can use these little labels, you can use these for tabs. You can do them 2 ways. You can either cut them in half and stick 1 on each side. You could just fold it in half that way and have it showing. So I'm just going to pop this inside here and see what room I've got to play with on this. So that's where my seam is. So I think I'm going to do the cut in half route because there's not a lot of space left on that one. So I'm going to take all 3 of these out and then I'll show you what we'll do. I'm going to get my scissors. I'm going to cut this in half. Do all 3 of these. I haven't done any corners on these, so I'm going to use my photo corner on this one. So if I wanted to tuck some photos behind, I can do. You could do your little tags double if you wish as well, so you allowed extra space. You've also got the facility in the little envelopes to add memorabilia like tickets, etc. So this little album's ideal really for a day out. So if you've had a day out, so you've been on the train and gone off to the city or something and you've got your train tickets and say you've been to the theatre and you wanted to save your theatre tickets and take a few photographs, it's quite a nice way of showcasing those in one. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to turn my tags over and I'm going to put some wet glue on here. So put some wet glue there. I'm going to lay this on there, and then I'm going to put some wet glue just on the bottom because I've obviously got wet glue on the top part already. As I say, I'm using the Kalal all-purpose glue for those that have asked me. I do get a lot of emails asking. I've got no affiliation at all with the company that makes this. It's just a glue of my choice that I really do like and use a lot. So I think what I might do is bring that one along just a little bit so we get a bit of a staggered look. Curve it down a little bit more. Put some wet glue again on the end. We've already got glue on the whole part of the other one. Stick that down on there. Just allow that time to take off. So that's 2. So we'll do our 3rd one. Move this one along a bit more. Into that end. There again, just put a little bit of glue on there. So with these envelope minis you can add obviously a lot more to them. You could put some more tags and cards in if you wish as well. It's entirely your choice. I'm just giving you the ideas to make these little albums and then you can run with them and add your own little touches. So these will slide inside here, and even with the tag on that still allows that to shut. Because that's the other thing you've got to bear in mind. I mean, you could make your photo mats bigger and not have tabs on them if you didn't want to. That's another thing you could do. Okay, so there's several ways round making it. So I'm just going to tuck that one inside there. Okay, so they all fit inside. and you concertina it up and fold it over. And what I'm probably going to do with mine is I'm going to put a little Velcro sticky dot on there. Now that looks nice as it is, or what I could do is do some stamping on the white part of the envelope. But as you open it up, these parts of the envelope you can stick photographs on as well, so you can stick some photographs on here as well. So that's just a little envelope concertina mini. Okay, so that's another little project we've made out of our pack of envelopes and cards. I'm Dawn from Dawn's Inspirations. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to show you another project in the series. So far I've managed to get 4 projects out of this one box of 10 envelopes and 10 cards. So I shall go ahead now and I'll show you another one.